Hey, like I said, I refuse. I have opinions, but that's a totally different thing. That's a totally different thing. I'm saying if you're a kid, if you're literally a child, at the very least, you shouldn't be having the surgery. Yo, freak show.
We're gonna skate to one song only.
Freak show. Way too early. Yeah, way too early. I mean, I remember my earliest memory probably is around 4. That's when psychologists say you actually start to form memories. 3 years old, you don't even form memories yet. And I just, my earliest memories, you guys probably have a similar thing. It's like a dreamlike state. Like those very early childhood memories. Like everything is so raw and almost lucid. I just couldn't imagine making a decision like that. It's just not even on your mind. I just don't think that sex or gender or anything like that was ever on my mind as a kid. And it wasn't until later childhood, elementary school, later elementary school, but especially preschool, never. Never. You're just innocent. You just don't know or think or imagine anything like that. At least I didn't. Your head's in the clouds. You know, it's like when you were in that state, at least my memories of that time period of my life, when you were playing with G.I. Joe and you were playing with the Legos, it was real. Your imagination was real. That's why I just don't... Are these people putting themselves back in that position? Do they remember being a really little kid like that? You're not gonna... I know you probably won't have a... I can't believe that. We just randomly went down. There's nothing around us. There's nothing around us. I saw the shotgun shots, but I don't know where they're coming from. Up there? Yeah, up there. That guy up there one-hit us. Oh, this is getting frustrating. Earliest memory can be hazy. Maybe when I was 2. 2 years old? I don't know. I don't think that's possible. I think they say that it's 4, Vaughn, because your brain is literally can't form memories yet. Like that part of it's not developed. Like if you legit have that memory, you legit have that memory. But what was it then? What was this 2-year-old memory? But my past up to like late high school is just a jumble of confusion and pain, so I don't dwell on it. Right on, right on. Well, hey man, that's real too though. That's real too. Like people who come from abusive homes, literally their brain, it like as a survival mechanism, stops their ability to form memories. So I totally respect what you're saying. Like Can't Hurt Me, the book by that Navy SEAL. He was labeled mentally retarded, learning disabled, because he couldn't remember anything. Finally, they took him to a psychologist, you know, child psychologist or whatever from the school, and they're like, he's like, this kid isn't stupid. He's not retarded or anything. He was in an abusive home, so his brain is refusing to make memories to protect him. Apparently, that's, you know, a very, very real thing. A very, very large black dog running down a wooden hallway. And you think you were 2? Yeah, but you see how that... Either way, like whenever you had this memory, it doesn't matter when you had this memory. Those like early childhood memories are like a dream state. They're in your brain and they're weird. Samurai Jack, Dexter's Lab, Scooby-Doo, and Teen were on my mind. How old were you, Jeremiah? Yeah, like we were saying earlier, like Teen's Choice Awards, SpongeBob, hit clips, games. Like my girlfriends at the time, like, yeah, you were boyfriend and girlfriend because maybe you would hold hands and you would talk on the phone. And that's it. That's all that meant. Sexuality and gender, you know, it's like 2 totally different things. Like, I knew when I had my first kiss or whatever in like 4th grade, 3rd grade, I don't know, somewhere in there. It was my best friend's sister. It was like, you know, it was like, really nice. Obviously, it was like, oh, I want to do this all the time. This is pretty great. You just know. I think that's totally different. I think that those kids probably 100% know that that's what they like. Sexuality is different, but gender, I'm not sure. Probably like 5. Is your earliest memory? You were lucky. You had the Adult Swim. You had good taste. You had good taste, Jeremiah. Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack was the shit. So in other words, you're telling me you weren't worried about whether you were a boy or a girl. You weren't even really thinking about it. That was around that time because the mother told me back when I was that they had a massive black lab. I just go off what the rents tell me about back then. Right on, right on. Hey, I mean, it's a stupid thing to even dispute on. If that's when you feel like you had it. That's when you had it. It was early though, right? You know, it's little memories like that stand out. It's weird that there's not more. I've got memories from preschool that are pretty formed. You end up just, you know, those time periods in your life, you end up just getting the chunks. But same thing with your week. Like, it's hard to remember what you were even doing 3 hours ago sometimes. Your brain just gets rid of the stuff. I should have just shot as many rockets as I could down there instead of pacing that out like that. Speaking of that, August 2nd, you can actually start streaming Tool and Perfect Circle again, so it's kind of cool. Fuck no, I wanted to be Ben 10. The show was cool as hell. Probably the reason I look into lore games and shit ton. Yeah, Samurai Jack was the shit. Dude, if I go down again, it's over. That was so quick that time. I think I might be able to change it, though. Maybe. This is just a shot in the dark. Ben 10 was the beginning of me looking into the actual lore shit. Oh, well, I thought Ben 10 was the same. Yeah, okay. Ben 10. Tell me about Ben 10. Sorry, tell me about Ben 10. Hells, if I actually try to remember back then, I can think of images of Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, a few of our dogs from back then. That's about it. Stuff gets tangled up. Stuff gets tangled up. So think about how distant that seems. Now imagine if you end up making like a massively life-changing decision right around that same time period and being the age you are now. Like imagine if you would make a decision, your 3-year-old self, on how the exact state of your life would be right now. Would your 31-year-old self be very happy? Do you think? I mean, you're gonna, basically what you're saying, for right or for wrong, is you're letting a very, very, very young, it's like when you get a tattoo when you're really young. And then you regret it later. It's permanent. You make a temporary decision, but it's a, you know, it has a permanent repercussion. This would be a very, very permanent repercussion in this case. But, you know, if their side is right, I want to see some science behind it. I think you have to have some research done, though. And maybe that's the only way. Maybe that would be the best way, is you get it done earlier. But I just can't see making a decision like that. You know, you regret things you did when you were 12 because you thought they were smart. You don't think like that. Then you finally get into your 20s, your 30s, and now you've got to have you start needing to have your life built or you're screwed. And you think, well, man, I wish I would have got started when I was 12. I would hate to like look back and say, man, I shouldn't have got addicted to drugs when I was 3. Grows up to bang his cousin, right? Forced decisions haunt me. Any personal ones I've made from back then would also haunt me if they were like life-changing. But that only is because I know I would have made that decision now, since I don't remember how long I thought back then. You're going to be an adult much longer than you're going to be a child. If you live to say the average life expectancy is 72 years old in the United States, what, 5% of that, 10% of that, whatever, you're going to be a kid. 18 years of it, you're going to be a kid. But for the rest of the 60 years, you're going to be an adult. I can't see letting the 10 outweigh the 60. Make that decision when you're an adult. That's within your rights. You're of age. Now you can make that call. But I can't see setting yourself up, having your whole... That's why we have, like, juvenile forgiveness and stuff for crimes. I'm not saying that's the same thing, but I'm saying it's the same concept. Yo, show the Reaper! What up, Ashton? Thanks for being here, man. Ashton's a Marine. He's really good at games. He's got a good, funny, dry wit. He's super good at team-based games, communication. This game is actually struggling when it comes to frame rate. We're only 11 in because it's not despawning the freaking enemies. Yeah, the bodies need to despawn. It's causing us some headache. I feel like I've been stuck around round 11, round 12 for a minute now. It's been pretty hard to get out of this section. Is this the badass wave? You would think with Ogre class mod on and our build and the shotgun, we'd be doing even more, because it's got the shotgun mod on the multiplier. This is gotta be the badass wave. Yo, Friday, me and some guys from my job ran Destiny 1 Wraith of the Machine raid. It was fun and hilarious. Nice. So what made it hilarious, Ashton? Did you guys win? Did it remind you of old days? Is Destiny 1 still better than Destiny 2? Where's the other one? We had the one shield busted. Not only that, dude, with this Ogre class mod, we can just stay in this ult for a long time. There's the ammo. Give us the ammo. These guys take a lot of hits. No kidding. We're only halfway through. Oh, Oh man, I don't know. It's gonna be really close. Shotgun's still on? Yeah, shotgun's still on. Alright, that helps. Shots and shotgun bonus damage. Where the fuck is he? Alright, we did the thing again where we, had to desperately battle just back to where we were because of this game's awful and punishing checkpoint system. Back to attempting round 12. Ooh, dead aim. Oh god, that's the aimbot one. And more bonus damage. We're really getting dicked. We really just got dicked. They got aimbot and they got bonus damage. That is stupid as shit. These bodies seriously have to despawn. If we keep failing like this, they're just gonna keep racking up. And remember, we can't save and quit, so if it becomes unplayable, it's just a reset. Because the frame rate down here is struggling. We're down to like 20 frames a second down here. I'm gonna go to Blast Master for this early section. Shit. We're trying, stream. We're trying. That is a lot of body parts. Ammo. We desperately need ammo. Every round we have to make sure we get a couple of these big blocks and we're done. Oh god. I just gave him dead aim again. It re-rolled to the same shit. Alright, what is this? The Psycho Wave? Oh, Gun Wave. Oh, fuck. We're really gonna feel it this time. Oof. Now, if they get dead aim, they do more damage, and it gives them the exotic roll to where they all basically have legendary guns. That's just a wipe. Game is struggling. Look at how the ADS is just breaking. Holy shit, dude. Shot auto aim. Yeah, seems legit. Seems legit. Shit. We don't want to start riding on second waves or we will lose, because it's gonna make the time quicker and quicker and quicker even when we're getting up that quick. Even when we're getting up fast, it's still etching out the time, and we know it doesn't reset. It takes too long to reset, so. That's why I'm tempted, even though we get this massive damage boost by running this Blast Master, to keep on Ogre, because it makes our down but not out. You know, like almost 2-3 minutes. Where's he going? You tickled it. Ew. Why? Why, Anthony Birch? You didn't write this, but I'm going to blame you. It feels better that way. Your master, your mentor wrote this. This is how you learned. Alright, at least that one helps us. That's when it's fine. When we get ones that help us, that's when we've got an RNG on our side. And we can do okay. Especially with this one. This is the easy wave. This is the freebie. I mean, if all else fails, you can literally just cheese it. Like, why didn't they just make it one round after the other? Holy fuck. Because they didn't play test it? That's my opinion anyways. They just said, hey, 20 rounds sounds about right. Okay, yeah, 20 rounds. 20 rounds of what? 20 rounds of 5 waves each. 100 waves. They get harder and harder and harder. And they're relying on RNG to really dictate whether you you can do better. But get this. If you lose, you go back 2 rounds. You don't just start at the beginning of that round. No. We knock you back a round. We don't even start it back over at the wave. And, better yet, you can't save and quit. There's no checkpoints. You either finish it in this setting or else. And now we're 5 hours in. I've already told the story of the getting with the pallies in high school to have the full team, all 4 guys, including myself. Stay the night Friday, start right after school, go into Saturday night, and not have the second arena done, and not be able to save and quit, and not at all be willing to reschedule to start that whole thing over again. Thanks for the money, dummies. Worst DLC in the Borderlands franchise. 1, 2, pre-sequel, this one takes the cake. I'm glad they didn't make the same mistakes, and it sucks because it could have been cool. You would think that an arena for Borderlands, like, how could you go wrong? You can go wrong by just not even taking the smallest amount of due diligence. And you get a certificate of badassery when we achieve this. We're doing it for the achievement, but no XP, no loot, nothing. You get a little dialogue in front of your screen that you press A on and you can never look at it again. Oh, there we go. Enemies have bigger magazines that do more damage and they are more accurate. Now see, when it comes to that 4th one, and they also get the one where they have the legendary guns, look for us to be knocked back 2 rounds. And then it's not despawning enemies, so this frame rate is going to be bad, because, the enemies are not going to be limited by the frame rate. That's only going to be us. He's trying to run away. They fixed that in Borderlands 2, thank God. And you can also move around, but in this one, dude, when you go down but not out, and you can't move and they run away from you, that is the most frustrating thing in this game. Yeah, loot is optional in looter shooters, right. Said no one ever. Except for the third party that made this DLC. I am super low right now. Every time I try to run up this ramp, I get killed, so I'm not going to try it again. I'm going to use the teleporter. I might get killed regardless. If you get killed when you're the teleporter, you're really done. It's ended many a rounds here lately. Shops have 2 new inventory. Too bad you can't check out any shops or get any loot. Making these guys more accurate is deadly. Dude, if we keep failing, this is going to become unplayable. The frame rate is dipping way too much when we come down here again. This game needs gender politics. Perfect. This game that, like, includes so many different spectrum. Like, Ashton said it so well. That Borderlands is one of those games where, like, everybody just likes it. It brings a lot of people in. The hardcore, the casual, the role player, the shooter. A lot of different people get their jollies out in Borderlands. Let's make it divisive by throwing politics in there. It's a great decision, Mr. Birch. Come on, man. Who identifies as a bunny named Floofles? Or how about we could just have Tiny Tina be a kid, be a cool one, be a badass Borderlands character. And none of that shit matters, because it doesn't. I'll never get over Anthony Birch making Hammerlock gay out of nowhere. There was no context. He just tells you. You're in the big game Hunter DLC where you're supposed to be killing all these giant monsters and, like, you know, you're on an excursion with him. He's, you know, like the early English colonist kind of type character, hunting elephants or whatever. And he's just like, oh, by the way, my boyfriend says, why? Why, Anthony? Why? He didn't have to have any sexuality is the thing. I would have been fine. You could say he's gay. You could say he's straight. He can be anything. But that's the point. All that really matters is you're supposed to be killing big-ass monsters. And we're sitting here talking about his fucking boyfriend. That's just as random as me suddenly saying, like, my girlfriend to tell you my sexuality. That's why it comes across as so fucking lame. You're so brave, Mr. Birch. You're so brave. I don't know what that community would ever do without your help. Thank God you're leading the way. They surely couldn't have gotten the representation they've gotten without you, Mr. Birch. And you've surely stood on ground that no one... I'm sure it got you a lot of hate. Dude, it's so weak. Yes! Yes! Holy crap, we can't go down again anytime soon, or it's over. He was gay during the Love Thumper. Okay, well, still random as shit. Why do you have to say it during that quest, too? It's still stupid, Endless King. He doesn't have to be gay or straight. Like, it's different with Lilith, who's dating Roland, because that's, like, that's lore, and that's interesting, and that creates a connection there. But Hammerlock, that character that you only occasionally interact with to do some dumb quests, I don't give a shit. He's just a video game character. I don't need to know his sexuality. I don't even need to know his fucking gender. I don't need to know any of it. Tell me about your adventures killing monsters. That's it, man. That's it. That was close. That was super close, Freak. This is action packed. You listen to an old woman monologue for 3 minutes. Are you talking about the Turkey DLC? That shit actually got him a meeting with Pitchford. He's like, it's bullshit. He talked about it on Twitter. He was really open about it. Everybody was pissed about that DLC. And this was one of the bigger, this was when we were kind of going down and people weren't very happy. No one knew what the future of Borderlands looked like. I'm stuck on rocks. And this is when Master Kiz and Morning After Kill and Gathalion all made content together as Borderlands YouTubers. And everybody was pissed about that DLC because of that quest. There's like 3 quests in the Headhunter DLCs. And there's one quest in there that takes 15 minutes. You just sit there and you listen to Grandma Torg. It was a troll. And Anthony's like, I guess I'm not supposed to come in on Monday and I gotta meet with the boss. And he's like, it's fucking bullshit. He's like kicking, dirt. The kid in the playground is really upset because he didn't get his allowance because he told his mom, fuck off. But then Morning After Kill kept bugging Randy about it. It was like, this is terrible. How could you put this in the DLC? This is so stupid. We want content. We don't want to be trolled. And Randy was like, fuck you. He told Morning After Kill, fuck you, legitimately. And apparently they Skyped after, which to me is even odder. They Skyped and talked and like chilled. It was a strange day for the Borderlands community. Those were strange times. No one knew what the future looked like. Destiny was coming out. Everyone was scared. Holy crap. Wave 13, we finally made